So Jonathan Turley joins us to give us his expectations. Sir, good morning to you.
Morning.
Three judges,
Good morning.
as we just mentioned. One appointed by Bush 41 in 1990. The other two women appointed by Biden in 2022. What comes of this today, sir?
I think the odds are heavily against former President Trump in prevailing on these claims. He's making a sweeping argument of immunity that may run into trouble even on the U.S. Supreme Court. At issue is really what in Nixon versus Fitzgerald, the court called the outer perimeter of presidential authority. It is, how do we define what Trump was doing on January 6th and afterwards? He was certainly president. But I think there's a sticker shock element here for the Trump arguments that they would go too far in allowing a president to commit criminal acts. Keep in mind, this is not finding that he committed criminal acts. The question is, if he did commit criminal acts, would those still be covered under this immunity? And so I think that's the tough question facing him. But there's a number of torpedoes in the water here. One is time, which you mentioned. Most of us expressed skepticism about the March 4th date. It seems even less likely now. If that date's missed, can they get a trial in before the election? Keep in mind, this is a motivated panel that's likely to issue an opinion quickly. But the Trump campaign can ask for review in bank for the full court, and then they can go to the Supreme Court, and that will eat up the clock. There's also another marginal issue here. A respected law professor at Northwestern named Stephen Calabrese has filed briefs that he thinks there's a problem with Smith himself, that he and others believe that Smith's appointment is unconstitutional. Now, that's the ultimate Hail Mary play, but the panel seems to be giving it serious consideration. It doesn't mean that they're buying that argument, but it'll be interesting if it comes up today.
Jonathan, could the Supreme Court, I think the answer is no to this, but let me ask, could the Supreme Court ask these courts to speed things up so that they can get things going in an election year?
Well, I think that everyone has gotten the message that time is of the essence. But there's an issue here as well, Dana. You know, when the special counsel went to the Supreme Court, he said it's absolutely urgent that we try President Trump on March or certainly before the election. The court clearly didn't share that sense of urgency. And Smith is a little bit dodgy on why it's so urgent. The Department of Justice historically has tried to avoid trials that influence elections. And so it's not clear to me that the Supreme Court shares his sense of urgency and will expedite this significantly. But it's clear that it's going to be treated differently. The court is going to address it once it comes up. I also think that the D.C. Circuit is likely to really do a NASCAR pace on this to get it to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Professor, thank you. We're going to get an audio feed from inside the courtroom. Doesn't always happen, but we'll get it today, and we might be able to get a sense of what's going on inside with these arguments. Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you a bit later this hour.
Thank you.
I do believe. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.